Hey guys, hey, well, back on the PCT. It is Monday the 9th, August 9th, just about 12:40. Got a late start today. Took a day off at White's Pass. I got to White's Pass a day early, so I took a day off, went down to Yakima, spent 2 nights in a motel. Kind of a crappy motel, crappy part of town, but it was still nice to get a little clean. And I would have just took one, but I had to kind of coordinate my return trip with another fellow hiker, so he was able to pick me up and showed me back here to White's Pass. So it was a little bit late start, but that was okay. Still a good time off. As you can see, the weather is much better since the last time you see me. It was pretty nasty going over Gut Rocks. Didn't see too much. Definitely have to go back there again to see it. It was real pretty, but I just crossed over the 2,300 mile mark. There wasn't a marker there. I don't think I'd find one. Usually when you've gone this far, the miles markers, they're not that big of a deal. But I have done 2,300 miles down to PCT. I've got, that gives me 353 miles left. Is that right? Yep. About just a little over 350 miles left. Which is, in retrospect, if I think about it, when I started, 350, I think it was at Cajon Pass, or it was before Wrightwood, I know that. But it just seems like years ago. Okay, so plan today and this week. This week I'm going to try to haul ass and get to Snoqualmie on Friday. Tomorrow, today, okay, there's in between White Pass and Chinook Pass is 29 miles, so I'm going to try to get at least 20 in today, even though I got a late start. It'll be a late finish, but it'll be fine. Then I can walk down. I'm supposed to meet Bill Steele from the VFW Lodge, the VFW post in Umatilla, Washington. So Bill's going to meet me there. I told him I'd be right at Chinook Pass about 11. He's going to pick me up, take me to lunch, go hang out. He's got a cabin for me. I'm going to relax there. And then they're going to barbecue for me and dinner. And they do some neat things for the Warriors Expedition hikers in the past that have gone through that area. So I'm looking forward to meeting Bill and hanging out with his group. And then I'll jump back on Wednesday, hopefully early morning. And I'm going to have to put in 325s to get to the Summit Inn Friday in order to get my package. So that's at Snoqualmie Pass. So should be a busy week. Actually, but the profile, the elevation profile for this 100-mile section between White's Pass and Snoqualmie Pass actually looks pretty easy compared to the last one. So, and I heard as soon as we go north of there, it's a little more up and down because then you get into closer to the North Cascades National Park, which looks beautiful. So, weather for the next week or so, it's going to warm up. It's going to be hot again. Even though it just rained the last couple days, it's going to be hot. So I think by today's Monday, by I think Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's probably going to be in the I know down in the lower areas it's going to be in the hundreds. Up here, probably be in the upper 80s to lower 90s, depends on what elevation I'm at. So hopefully it won't be too bad. But I'm on trail. So all right, guys, I got to get some walking done today. So I'll throw this next video in. I'll do from White's Pass to Snoqualmie Pass. I'll throw that video all together on Friday when I'm in that pass, relaxing. So, all right, guys, gotta get some walking done. Talk to you later. The water was moving over there. I don't know if something was in the water swimming or it's just a breeze over there. That's a beautiful little meadow. Hey guys, still Monday. One thing I want to mention I forgot to talk about when I was in Yakima, got caught up on the news about more details about the Dixie fire in Northern California, just outside of Chester. It looks like it burnt almost completely, or probably did completely wipe out the town of Greenville. In Greenville, a sponsor, John Banks, he's the president of the local American Legion in Greenville. He's actually a Warriors Expedition sponsor for years. Great guy. He's retired. In fact, he just took, when he picked me up in the halfway point, probably 2 months ago, a little maybe 6 weeks ago, he had just took custody of his grandchildren, and they were raising them, actually his great grandchildren. Him and his wife were raising their great grandkids because of some issues with their parents. But I mean, just super warm-hearted guy, great guy, a Vietnam veteran. Well, unfortunately, their house burnt down. They lost everything. Thankfully, John and his family are safe. So I saw that on the news. I reached out to him yesterday. They told me, yeah, they lost their house, and pretty much everything downtown was burnt. And I think, I don't know if the hotel I stayed at downtown was burnt too, but it was a neat old historic town, an old gold mining town, and population been kind of dwindling for a while, so hopefully they still will rebuild. It's one of the historic towns in Oregon, or I'm sorry, in Northern California. But it's sad to hear that though. So my thoughts and prayers go out to John, his family, and everybody else in Greenville. Hopefully, I know there are a couple people unaccounted for, but I just hope everyone got out safely there. This sounded like a devastating fire, but the thing about John is he'll still support us next year anyway. I bet he's just that kind of a guy. So John, I'm glad your family are safe, and I hope everybody else is safe in Greenville area too. Thanks, guys. Nice. Wish I had a fishing pole right now. Oh, my pole! My pole gets stuck. Shit! Jesus. Be the clumsiest hiker out here. Alright guys, hey, I'm about 16 miles north of White's Pass, and I don't know if that's an existing fire. I'm hoping that's just an existing fire. It looks like it's to the west of me. Sorry about that, guys. We'll keep our fingers crossed. There is Goat Rocks and Mount Adams behind them. When Goat Rocks, that's what they look like when they're clear, but I couldn't see it when I was there. Funny, I came around the corner and I saw this big MFer. Hold on a second. Look at this big old mountain in front of me. I'm like, what the hell? Holy crap, this thing is big. Look how big that sucker is. It's been in the cloud the last 3 days. It's nice to actually see it. That's one big ass mountain. Whew. Morning, guys. Pretty cool waking up seeing something like that. Mount Rainier. It is Tuesday, the 10th of August, and I am moving north. Camped last night at, I forgot the number. Basically, I did 20 miles coming up from Chinook Pass, or no, I'm sorry, White's Pass. I got a late start. But I actually got there about 6, so it was pretty good. We started about 11:30, got there about 6 p.m. Ran into Wing again. That was cool. I haven't seen Wing since Dunsmuir. So we're actually kind of hiking with each other today. Plan is today, I only have 9 miles down to Chinook Pass. I'm going to hook up with Bill from the local VFW here. And I'm going to hang out with him today, have dinner tonight, and then jump back on the trail first thing in the morning. So today's a short day. What it does, it kind of jams up the next 3 days, but not too bad. Chinook Pass to Snoqualmie Pass is 71 miles, so I can do that in 3 days. I'll knock out a couple 25s and then a low 20 or something like that, so shouldn't be too bad. But the mosquitoes are kind of relentless this morning. There's a nice breeze out, but Washington got a lot of snow this year, so there's a ton of mosquitoes up here. I got both my ears this morning when I was packing up my gear, but they live out here, I don't. So, and they seem to like me. But other than that, though, pretty straightforward. Down to, I think it's less than 330 miles, like 325 miles to go. So it's amazing that I look at it now, at least what I have left, and it's like nothing. I mean, I don't think I can knock this out in 2 weeks, but I'm probably going to be a little after. It's probably going to finish up around 24th, 25th, 26th, somewhere around there. Depends on if I take might take a 0. Since I just took a 0, yeah, I'm kind of questioning my 0 in Leavenworth, but we'll see. I'm definitely going to crash there for one night, maybe it's a couple knee rows. I don't know if I'll take a 0 or not, but I'm pretty excited about finishing this thing. In a way, I'm not excited about finishing this thing because I know that means it'll all be over. The last 4 months I've been walking for a single purpose. And that single purpose, well, actually multiple things happen during this process, but your ultimate goal is to tag that monument at the end. And so for the first 3/4 of it, well, the first half you're just surviving with injuries, and then a bunch of 1,000 miles after that, you just turn on the jets and you start sprinting. But then you realize once you get a little closer, you're like, oh man, this thing's gonna be over pretty quick. I think I spoke about this before. I've already changed a bunch. I've already walked off a lot of things I need to walk off. I think almost everything I need to work on, which is great. So, I mean, this 2,653 miles of self-reflection is a long period of self-reflection, but it's very healthy. And it's been very healthy for me. So I'm glad I'm out here. Even with the pain and suffering to begin with, even with the cold ass temperatures in the Sierras, even with the mosquitoes out here, even when just getting rained on the last 3 days, it's been every step of it's been worth it. So, all right, gotta get some hiking done. Chat with you guys later. Hey guys, actually here's some elk right now. It almost sounds like they're on the trail. If you can hear me now, I'm going to try to be quiet and sneak up on them here. Every time. Oh wow. Yeah, this one's pretty close. Come on, wait for me there. Don't take off. Oh, there he is right there. Holy moly, that's a big boy. I can just see her. I don't know if you can see her in the video. Oh, that's a female. I think they're called cows. She just took off up the hill. She's probably calling her baby. Oh man. Finally get to see an animal. Oh, there she is. Holy shit, she's big. Oh, woo, she was big. She just hauled ass down that hill. Woof. She wasn't messing around. That was one big elk. I'll keep a lookout for more. Okay, this does not count as my first bear sighting, but there's one on a hill. See that black dot and a big patch of blueberries. It's too far away to confirm, but it looks like it might be a bear just kind of frolicking around in the blueberry bushes. I'm not going to claim that as credit, but that's a possible bear sighting. Oh, wow. That's pretty. Oh, wow. A lot of good snow this year too.
Oh yeah.
What a big, doesn't he look like Charlie? Oh no, this is probably as good as Anthony. Okay.
Nice. Hey, morning guys. Hey, Will on the PCT. It is Wednesday morning, August 11th, just before 10 o'clock. I jumped on at jumped on back at Chinook Pass at about 8:45. Just popped over the top of the ridge line. I think it's Sourdough Gap, I think it's called. And now I'm heading back down the other side. But so yesterday I did just an easy 9 down to Chinook Pass, where Bill and the crew were waiting for me from the local VFW. Great guys. Actually, they took me over to Crystal Mountain, picked me right up, took me to Crystal Mountain, had lunch up at their the Summit Inn. I think it was the Summit Inn, Summit House, Summit Inn, or might be Summit Inn. There's a couple Summit Inns around here. Had a great lunch up there. Had a couple beers. Went down. They had Bill has a neighbor that have like a vacation cabin up there, so I stayed in their cabin there. And then they invited me, and then Bill, his wife, and the boys invited me over for dinner. We had a barbecue and really good steak, and just chatted for a while. And then the awful gave me a quilt that was made by some of the wives and of the VFW members, a Freedom quilt, which was really nice. I mean, I've heard about these quilts for years, and it was just really neat to have one. And so they're going to ship that to my house after I finish to make sure I get it and everything too. But that was real nice. But just want to say special thanks out to Bill, Bill Steele, and the boys thanks for your support and your help and everything. That was great. Al, another one of the boys, they were all Vietnam vets, and then Herbert, one of the other guys that picked me up, it was Bill, Al, and Herbert. Herbert is also a Korean War vet, so he's a little bit older. I think he's actually approaching 80 right now. But it's kind of neat to have some old boys pick me up. Oh man, something just bit me. Little bastard. It was neat to have some guys pick me up there. Vietnam and then a Korean War vet. It's nice to see the guys. Great guys, great chats, just super good people. And then Al, as they dropped me off at the cabin, to say, hey, anything from the store, because I wasn't anywhere near the store, but he picked me up a couple bottles of good bug spray and 6-pack hazy IPA that we shared last night for dinner. So that was real nice. But thanks, guys. Thanks for everything. Appreciate it. Thanks for hospitality. And if you're in Central Oregon and when I'm back up in this area again, I'll definitely stop by and say hi. So that was great. Okay, but now back on trail. I got a plan on get all the way to Snoqualmie Pass. Oh, I have a hard time saying that word. I have a plan on getting to Snoqualmie Pass by Friday, so and that's 71 miles from Chinook. So today, at a minimum, I'm going to do 24. The Mike Ulrich cabin is at 24, so I'll do that. I might do a little bit more. See where the next water point is after that. We'll see how the daylight goes, but I didn't get a super early start, which was fun. The guys picked me up, and we had breakfast at I think it was the Alpine Inn. Neat little, almost like a Bavarian type building. Beautiful place. We had a little light breakfast there this morning, and then they dropped me off at the trailhead for a split. So not a super early start, but not a late start. I hit the trail about 8:45. So I think I should have no problem getting at least 25 in today. So if I get 25 in today, 25 in tomorrow, and that'll give me a 21 miler on Friday. But if I get a little bit more, it'll make a better Nero on Friday. So we'll see. Weather looks good for the next 3 days going to the next pass. It's going to be hot. So I believe it's 100 plus down in down the low level areas down the city. In Seattle, Portland, I think it's going to be hot there today, tomorrow, and the next couple of days. So we'll be warmer up here. Luckily, I've got a little bit of altitude, so elevation, so it shouldn't be too bad. But all right, gotta get some hiking done, and I will. Oh, shoot! Chat with you guys later. Okay, bye. Let's see if there's anything in here. Negative. There's cold. There's one beer in there. I'll leave that for the lucky next person.
There's what?
There's one beer in there. So I'll leave that for the next person. Not much else in here. Morning, guys. Thursday morning, 12th of August. Just before 7, kind of late start this morning. I actually slept in. I was sleeping really good. I did end up doing almost 29 yesterday. Just worked out good. I was made to this last spring. We're at a good water point. And man, there's so many blueberries out this morning. I don't know if you can see them or not, but they're everywhere on both sides of the trail here. I mean, it's weird, but I'm almost getting tired of eating blueberries. I don't know if you can see the berries on there or not, but they're these ones are actually really fat ones. I mean, most of them are pretty small, but these ones are, they look like they're straight off the store, right out of the produce aisle. As you can see today, really smoky. There was that big fire yesterday. I don't know if it's from this fire or it's from one of the fires up north, but a little breezy today, so it's going to be a little congested because of the fire, the smoke. But hopefully nothing new started. I'll find out here pretty soon once I get up on a couple more ridge lines. Thing new started, but plan for today is to do. Okay, so I have 41 miles. Oh, by the way, should be seeing a mark for 300 right here, but I'm basically at 300 miles to go. The entire trip. The 29 miles, 28 miles I put in yesterday brought me right to just a little over 300 miles to go. It's like 300.5 miles. So I'm actually at 300 miles to go, which is amazing because it's going by pretty quick now. Before it was going by really slow. Now it's starting to go by a little quicker. But so today plan. So I got to be in Snoqualmie Pass tomorrow. The earlier the better. It's just easier. Pick up a box, meet some sponsors there at the pass. So I'm gonna do, and I have 41 miles. So I'm gonna do 25. That'll bring me just 16 miles left on Friday. So it'll be an easy walk down or walk up to the pass. I think it's more of a walk down to the pass. Yeah, I should be able to get there like an early lunchtime or like a late lunchtime, 1 or 2 at the latest. So I'll do 25 today, minimum. It's a little more up and down today, so than it was yesterday. So 25 will be good. And yesterday I started like 8:45 from the pass, White Pass, or Chinook Pass. So today starting about just before 7. I should still be able to get to 25 and finish up by 5 p.m. So probably gonna be another hot one today. It was pretty warm yesterday. Warm for the mountains. I mean, it's probably mid 80s. It wasn't terrible, but it was a little bit of a smoker in the afternoon. Let's hope the breeze keeps coming here, blows the smoke out, and keeps the temps down. But later on today, I'll talk a little bit about it in my next video once I get going here. But August 12th, 2003 is a significant event in my life, and I want to share that with you. So stay tuned. All right, guys. Peace and good night. Bye. Hey guys, still Thursday. It's about 9:20 in the morning. Just heading down a long hill. I want to tell you a story about something that happened on this day in 2003, 18 years ago. First deployment to Iraq. I'll skip back a little bit. When I deployed to Iraq, I deployed as a company executive officer. I just recently commissioned. I was prior enlisted before, but I was recently commissioned a couple years ago. So I think I just pinned on first lieutenant. So I was pretty new as an officer, even though I had 10 years enlisted, but pretty new as an officer, pretty new as a manager. And we were deploying with a unit out of Fort Bragg, military intelligence battalion. And their headquarters company had a company commander, had a first sergeant, and the company commander was having some serious issues with the battalion commander, her boss. And so they kind of wanted to cert me in. They're like, okay, we need a kind of like a mature officer in there to kind of help support the company commander and the company. So they picked me. Well, they asked me to volunteer. I was like, okay, I'm always up for a challenge. Don't think it was that big of a deal. So first got there, landed Bragg, jump off the bus, and the battalion commander meets me right there in the bus. Like, hey, go meet your boss. She's in her office right over there. So I go across the parking lot, go to her office, and introduce myself to her. And I'm like, hey, she's like, okay, well, come back in about 10 minutes. We'll have something to talk about. So, okay, no problem. So I came back 10 minutes. I said, okay, so my job is to support you in everything you can. Oh, let me find out where my trail is here. PCT down that way, downhill on Blowout Mountain. So she says, your job is to do everything that I don't want to do. And your first job is to take care of that piece of shit soldier that's sitting out there in the weather room right now. I'm sick and tired of babysitting him. I'm sick and tired of taking care of him. He's your job. He's your responsibility. I looked to my left. There's this young soldier, PFC, private first class, standing there. And he kind of looks at me and he kind of gives me a look. I'm like, oh, great. So I'm going to be babysitting the whole Iraq tour. So I go and introduce myself to him, get to kind of build a relationship with him. He was a good kid. He was just had some problems. That's back in the day when you could pee dirty. He peed dirty with marijuana. They demoted him a couple times. He went AWOL once. Yeah, actually really went AWOL once. And all the story I heard about him, like, oh, this kid's just a troubled kid. Well, I mean, I'm a father of 4, so okay, how bad can it be? And so, but I actually built a good relationship with him. We spent a couple months together there before we deployed, and we finally deployed to Kuwait and actually get to know him really, really well. He's a good kid, so well that we're actually traveling together. I think it was when we were still in Kuwait, and we're sitting there, we're actually having breakfast together. And this kid, he worked his butt off. I mean, he was just looking for something. He was looking for responsibility because he's a super smart kid. So I started giving him a bunch of stuff to do, and he was great. He was like my personal assistant. He drove me everywhere. I mean, he was a really good kid. He really wanted to do a good job. And once I kind of got to know him, he showed that I was respecting him and he respected me in return, and we actually had a great relationship. So one morning in Kuwait, before we moved north to Iraq, before the war started, I'm sitting there, I said, so what's the deal? I said, so why did you go AWOL? He's like, well, I peed dirty. I just didn't want to deal with it. So I just said, fuck it, I took off. So where'd you go? He said, you went down to Florida, packed up all the stuff, left the barracks in the middle of the night, went down to Florida. He had a buddy who worked at a bar, and he started working in a bar. So how long are you down there? He's like, down there for 4 months. I said, why don't you come back? He's like, well, I knew I had to face the consequences sooner or later, so I figured I better come back. So we did. Came back and, all right, take the punishment. So they demoted him. They chewed him out. It was weird because, I mean, with the pending war coming up in Iraq, typically they would kick someone out like that, but they wouldn't kick them out. They're like, no, we need the people. I mean, we're shorthanded anyway, so you're coming with us. So again, a bunch of responsibilities over there. We spent a lot of time together. So we think we crossed the berm in April-ish, I think, and went into Iraq. So we spent April, all the way from like February on through today, 2003, and where he was killed. Got blown up by artillery shells and IED on the side of the road as he was driving a Humvee down the road. His name was Timmy Reed Brown. He died. He was 23 years old when he died, from Central Pennsylvania. Actually, I got to meet his father. It was really neat. I was stationed at the Pentagon in 2010, and my sons were visiting me in August. So let's go out to Arlington because Timmy's buried, or Brownie, we call him Brownie. Brownie's buried in Arlington. So I took my boys out there and I said, I want to introduce you to somebody, Brownie's father. And I remember the first time I met him, I'm walking across, I'm going to section, I think it's section 50, I think, where he's buried. I know exactly where it's at. I don't remember the number, but I was walking to where Brownie's at, and it was just really weird seeing an older version of Brownie standing there. And like that was interesting. So, but Timmy's a great kid, taken way too early. I'm thankful that I had the 6 or 7 months we actually get to work with each other really well. I cared about the kid a lot. We would go back. We'd spend a lot of time on the road together. We probably drove, as a company executive officer, XO, my job was to support the company, so that meant everything really but my job. My job was to support the company, so I'm traveling around. We're going convoying from northern Iraq all the way down to Kuwait and back multiple times. We got ambushed multiple times on those roads. That's when they were taking out the truck drivers. They got kind of ugly towards the end there. But so Timmy, or Brownie, and I spent a lot of time together. We come back to our little camp, our little base that we had up at the Crest. We had our own little compound, and we would. He was the only kid. He's 23. He was the only young soldier out there that actually knew how to throw a frisbee, because his dad lived in Central PA, mom lives in LA, and so he went back and forth. But just thought I'd share the story about Brownie, 23 years old, died 18 years ago today. And the 20th anniversary, I'll definitely go back to Arlington, but I'll share that with you. Thanks, guys. Hey, guys. Yeah, Brownie, he committed the ultimate sacrifice in giving his life for what he believed in, what he was serving for, and for the other. A little more detail on where he was killed. It was in Taji, north of Baghdad. He was actually driving. I was down to Kuwait 2 days before. I flew down to Kuwait from Crest, and then 2 days later, we had some people actually going home because we were getting ready to redeploy. So we're about 2 weeks from redeploying. So sent me down to Kuwait to get some things prepared for the convoy coming south. And Brownie was driving a group of people to the airport so they can go home. And one of the hardest things with Brownie, there was a lot of hard things about Brownie's death, but there were some positive things that happened with his death. There was 2 people in the vehicle with him. They survived. The right front passenger was one of our cooks. She got a serious concussion, got a little bit of shrapnel, but she was fine. I remember Rizoko in the back. He was man of the 50 cal. He had some shrapnel, got a concussion, but he survived, which was a miracle. Brownie was a big kid, and basically the blunt of the explosion, his body kind of protected the other 2, which was good. So instead of 3 KI, there was only 1. It was just Brownie. But so I'm sitting in Kuwait. I knew the guys were coming down. They were escorting him down there. Then this is the first time Brownie had ever been on a convoy without me. We'd always done everything together. So I do feel a little bit of guilt because I wasn't there to help him. But I know there was nothing I could have done to help him. And I would have been in the vehicle too. But so I got a call when I'm sitting down in Kuwait, and they told me what happened. So I had to tell everyone that just got off the plane that he just drove them to the airport and what happened. That was a tough day. The whole thing, there was nothing good about it. I mean, except for the 2 other service members that survived the blast. But Brownie did give the ultimate sacrifice. But like as we sit around now at our homes, as veterans or as active duty, as retired or whatever we are, there's a lot of veterans out there that still need our help. A lot of other veterans that suffer from physical and mental difficulties from their combat deployments, from their times they're served. And we could still sacrifice more. I'm talking about myself and my peers now. We can still sacrifice 1 or 2 days a month to reach out to these friends. I mean, a good example is the guys that picked me up back at Chinook Pass. I mean, all 3 of these guys are early 70s, and then here it's actually almost 80. All 3 of these guys have serious medical issues, but then they come pick me up at the pass and feed me. I mean, what the hell? I mean, it kind of embarrasses me because I'm thinking I should be taking care of them, and I should be doing more, and it will. I'm not sure what my role will be when I come back, when I finish this trail in less than 300 miles, but my role will be increased involvement of helping veterans as much as I can, once a week, twice, 3 times a month, whatever it is. But I want to encourage all my other veterans, brothers and sisters that are watching this, and anybody else. I mean, again, our Vietnam veterans are getting older. Our Korean War veterans are old. They need our support, they need our help. And a little bit of sacrifice of our time is not a big deal versus what Brady did. So, I just want to talk about that a little bit. It's a significant day in my life, and a significant day in Brandy's father's life and his mom's life, which was real sad. And he had a stepsister and everything too. And he would be 41 right now, which is weird. And but I'm glad I got a chance to meet his father, and hope to meet his father again in 2 years, in 2023, when it's the 20-year anniversary. So look forward to that. There's not a August 12th that I don't think about this day. I deal with it tons better than I did before. For a while there, it was a little tough. Every year it came around, it would be kind of a sad day. But you know, I'm a better man, a better person than I had those time with Brownie. Got to know him. He's just a good kid, just good. So you know, life taken way too short. But it is what it is. So, but thanks guys, thanks for listening. And please do whatever you can to kind of support our veterans now, especially the elderly ones. They need our help, they need our support. VFWs and American Legions the numbers are dwindling because a lot of it is older guys and gals. There's not a lot of VFW posts and American Legion posts that have we call them the GWAD, the post 9/11 veterans. And hopefully, so you guys can sign up. I actually originally just signed up for American Legion because there's American Legion close to both my place where I hang my hat, and the VFW on this trip. So I'm going to be a lifetime member of both. But I want to encourage everyone else to kind of join, because it is a neat place where you can network, you can branch out, you can get to meet some of the older veterans that do need our help. It's a good way. It's a good start. All right, back to hiking. Thanks, guys. I could hear that Chinook, but I couldn't see it. I think they're a little ways away from me. Hey, buddy. pretty lake. Morning, guys. Hey, it's Friday the 13th, August the 13th. Just before 8, been on the trail for almost 2 hours now. Just popping by Mirror Lake. I'm actually looking for a good place to take a dip in here. Looks like a great lake to swim in. And I'm about probably 8.5 miles from Snoqualmie Pass, so I'm thinking I'm probably going to get there about 11:30, just in time for lunch at the Drew Brew. Hit the brewery there. Got to pick up a box at the Summit Inn. And I'll head over to the Drew Brew, then hook up with Art and the boys from their local VFW at Snoqualmie Pass. So I'm looking forward to that. Haven't spent spend the night over there at their place. And yesterday did another 28, about 28 miles. So I did come out of Chinook, I did 2 28s, or like almost a 28.5, and then the 28. So make my day a little easier. Yeah, I basically got to 25 yesterday, ate dinner, and I'm thinking, well, let's go a little farther. So went a little farther, did my 28. That gives me just a little, like right at 13 miles to get into Snoqualmie Pass today, so I can get down there early. It's nice when you get into town on a town day if you get a little early. Take advantage of your extra time. Chores done, wash your clothes, go through your equipment, resupply, shower, eat, all those important things, and then get plenty of sleep before you head back the next morning. So should get down there with plenty of time. Since it's Friday, I imagine it's going to be a little busier. I won't be surprised if I start running to a lot of section hikers or day hikers today, because this looks like it'd be a great place for an easy hike from the pass. But I think this far end of the lake is probably like 8 miles from the pass, so imagine this is probably a super popular place in the summertime. It's easy access to get to. So, but alrighty, moving on. Friday the 13th. I don't think I had another Friday the 13th on this hike. If I have, I don't remember. So, alrighty, hope everybody's doing well at home, wherever you're at, doing your thing, sitting on your couch, or whatever. Alright, take care. Oop, oh, step on that. Just about a mile out of some Snoqualmie Pass right now. I can see it tomorrow. It's going to be a serious climb out of here. And it's supposed to be hazy for another couple days. Hopefully something will clear out tonight. But hazy and smoky for a couple more days. And got the ski lifts. Going by another ski resort, ski lifts right to my left here. And there we are, the pass.